Greetings to everyone world over, wherever you are in different countries and different continents. It's such a pleasure to have you this evening with us. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Hope you're taking care of your health, you're taking care of your family, you're taking care of your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, your community, your society, your civilization. Please take care of everybody. Let everybody be in the best of shape. Indeed, it's a privilege that today on the 416th webinar, all webinars are related to, dedicated to making education relevant. And when we talk about making education relevant, it's very important. We have to take into considerations that, ladies and gentlemen, media entertainment industry plays a very important role for all of us. So this particular series nowadays, we started initially with the health sector, then to the wellness sector, then to the entrepreneurship sector, and now we are with the media entertainment sector skill council. And this evening with media entertainment sector skill council under the aegis of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, this program is brought to you and we have got our distinguished guest, a source and resource and light of the evening, Madam Aparna Athreya. She is the founder, Story Triangle Kid and Parents Foundation. She is joining us from Bangalore and she will be talking to all of us on career opportunities in personal branding. So with these words, we extend her a very hearty and a very warm welcome. And let me just share a couple of slides for the benefit of those who are joining for the first time. Here is the CEO, Mr. Mohit Soni of the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council. Very dynamic, very dedicated and very vibrant from the corporate sector, got into Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council. His entire team is also very vibrant, very energetic, and special thanks to Pooja Arora ma'am, who is coordinating this entire series. Our chamber, International Chamber for Service Industry since 1994, is in the service of non-resident Indians. And of course, Indian corporate houses, government interface, what we have got. And 2003 onward, as we all are aware of, there's a birth of Bharatiya Parvasi Divas. During pandemic, doctors, nurses, paramedical people, they're doing great job. But our teachers are also wonderful. They have taken over the responsibility to keep the education relevant and going on. Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. That means the whole world is one family. That's what India believes in, and all of us, we are together. Heartiest congratulations to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Education Minister of India, all the stakeholders, those are in education, because the new education policy which has come to India, it's a great document and we all await for its implementation in totality now. During pandemic, last couple of months, we have taken the stats from the world over, and what we have learned is that next crisis world over is going to be on water. And Bangalore, Chennai, Punjab, these are some of the places which are already reflected in the reports. But if we want to save every drop of water, we got to take care of right from our home, and that is under women empowerment. They got to take care of it. Our chamber, from morning 9 till evening 9, 12 hours, we have got lots of programs. And here are 25 webinars per week, what we are organizing at present. Teachers and youth empowerment, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, right from Singapore, water management strategies. Saturday from Chicago, Swami Vivekananda, education and youth. Sunday morning from United States, Srimad Bhagavad Gita and India's main principal Upanishad. 3 p.m. India ASEAN series, where 10 countries over there. And Sunday evening, 5 p.m., micro, small, and medium enterprises. And then, of course, Saturday evening, another special program on your health and wellness, that's on Ayurveda. And Saturday and Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, live show for you for school education versus higher education, both the days. And on the popular demands of our children, our teachers, our youth, there are 400 million plus people. Those are from the Hindi belt, and they requested there should be a special program for them on the motivational series So आज का युवा क्या चाहता है? Every day at 12:30 in the afternoon, this program comes to you where everything related to the youth is being discussed in totality, in the most pragmatic. क्या चाहता है आज का युवा? What does today's youth want? Ladies and gentlemen, during pandemic, our chamber, almost 150 plus countries, we have collected the data, and finally what we have got over here is the world has to get into new order, and there has to be a new norms for the entire ecosystem of our global family. Sustainable development and B2B is no more business to business. It's back to basics. Your basic food, your basic health, and your basic education, all of us we have to take together. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together to make education relevant. This evening we are privileged. We have been joined by Madam Aparna Athreya ma'am. As I made mention that she is the founder, Story Triangle, a venture of Kid and Parent Foundation. She is a winning storyteller, award winning. She's an educator. She's a story coach. She's a computer science engineer and worked in the software industry for 15 years in organizations like IBM, Infosys, and our Cognizant Technologies before moving into the field of training and development. She trains and delivers consultancy across various generations of applied storytelling, including leadership development, entrepreneurship, personal brand storytelling, and business communication, diversify and inclusion, and in STEAM education. Earlier we had STEM, now A has been added up for the arts, so that comes STEAM. She's a TEDx speaker on storytelling and multiplier intelligence. She has written articles on self development for corporate professionals and about storytelling, education, and parenting in various media such as Polka Café, Primary Plus magazine, and a child magazine. She's a master trainer and a faculty member at various institutions where she conducts workshops in creative education. Nowadays, we talk about creative thinking. So that's a part of the education ecosystem, creative education. Her organization's work extends to core education in areas of life skills development and emotional regulation in schools and in sports academics, and that is Gopichand Academy, Hyderabad and Swimming Matters, Bangalore, Bangalore now. So with these words, we extend a very hearty welcome to Aparna ma'am. So join me in extending a very hearty and a very warm welcome to her to be with us this evening. It's a pleasure, ma'am. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
And
sir.
we wish to move on with the kids, with the moms, with the parents, everybody, with the stories, and with a couple of other setups what we can take in education ecosystem.
Thank you. Thank you. You will also be very happy to know, sir, and all the audiences, that I got the honor and privilege to interact with the Honorable Prime Minister in the Man Ki Baat platform, where uh, Prime Minister wanted to bring light to storytelling. So it is a high point, and it will be something that I tell to all the generations to come. So
Wonderful.
it's such a pleasure to see people like you and all those people in the governmental level who say and do actual work on the ground, not just for the people who are in India, but also for all those Indians who are all over the world. So my heartiest congratulations to you and the entire team, sir.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, people. So, I'm not able to see you. Unfortunately, it is the days of the pandemic, but I can feel you. And I'm very, very happy to be amidst, this very large global audience. And after that very warm introduction from Sir, and I must say, Sir is a brand of his own. Today's conversation is about personal branding. I can say that Sir, Gulshan Sir, really, really knows who
Thank
he is, and that's what makes him a big brand in MESC. So thank you very much for the introduction. I will use him as a live example sometime during the course of today's conversation, with your permission, sir.
thank you.
All right. So let me start off. let me start off with a story. I'm a storyteller, and story is the best way you can begin. So let me begin with a story, a simple folk tale from a long, long time ago, but a story which will make us reflect, think, and feel something in our heart and understand what I'm here to talk about. A long, long time ago, in the kingdom, somewhere far, far away from here, the kingdom of Granada, there was a great king, a king who ruled over his subjects with virtue and with compassion and with a great, great mind to ensure that everyone was always happy. And in such a kingdom, nature played its part, and the king, after many years of wonderful rule, grew old. And he was wise enough to know that one day the kingdom has to be taken forward, the mantle has to move on to another person. But he was also wise enough to know that it is not just his own children who need to take forward. He knew that he had to give it to the most eligible person. He didn't think that it should be to just a man. He knew that any person good enough is what should lead, is who should lead this kingdom. And so his wise mind thought of a very simple way to determine who should lead their kingdom. And so he called the attendants of his palace. And when they came, he said, make an announcement. Make an announcement that we are looking for the heir to this kingdom, and the heir shall not be my bloodline. The heir will be somebody who is eligible. The heir shall not be just a man, but anyone who is capable. And so a competition was held. The contest was, please make an announcement that the mirror that's there in the darbar, the big, large mirror that's there in the darbar, let it be known to all that on the day the contest opens, people will be invited, both men and women, will be invited to look upon the mirror, the magic mirror, where not just your face will be visible, but what is inside you, your character will be visible. And then it shall be very simple for me to determine who is the right person to rule this land. Make the announcement, he said, and he sent away the criers. So the criers went all over the kingdom and they made the announcement, an heir is required for this kingdom. Suno, suno, sabhi log suno. आइए आइए हमारे दरबार तक आइए, देखिए देखिए उस दरबार में एक ऐसा शीशा है जिसमें जादू है. देखिए देखिए, आप शक्ल दिखाइए, लेकिन सिर्फ शक्ल नहीं, आपका गुण भी दिखाएंगे उसमें. और इस प्रकार हमारे जो राजा हैं वो ढूंढ लेंगे जो राजा बनना है या रानी बननी है करके. They make an announcement. Far and wide across the land, people go and people make this announcement, and everyone is looking. Is this real? Do I get a chance to become the king of this place? Do I get a chance? I will be the queen of my kingdom. Everybody was so excited. And in all this excitement, everybody started to dream. Aha, when I become the king, I shall wear the most expensive robes. And when I become the king, I shall holiday abroad. I shall only fly business class. I shall only eat royal food. I shall only eat paneer and biryani. I shall only do this and that. And everybody was dreaming. And as the day became closer, slowly, people started to have doubts. अच्छा, उन्होंने बोला ना कि मतलब ये जो शीशा है वो जो कुछ जादू है उसमें, तो ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि मेरा जो गुण है मतलब सब कुछ दिख जाएगा उसमें. अच्छा, तो फिर तो मतलब मैंने मैंने गलत बोल के सर्टिफिकेट में गलत लिखा है, वो पता चल जाएगा उसमें. अरे रे, मेरा सर्टिफिकेट में मार्क्स चेंज करा दिया मैंने. ओहो, काश अगर मैंने ऐसे किया ना तो मैं कर लेता. अरे किसको चाहिए ये राजा का काम, तो मुझे नहीं चाहिए करके एक तो छोड़ दिया. And then there was another lady. She was all ready. And just as she was getting ready to go for the contest, she said, "Chai, if only I had not taken those books from the library and not returned it. मैंने चुरा दिया, मुझे चोर बोल देंगे. अरे रे, राजा के सामने अगर मुझे चोर बोल दिया तो मैं कैसे फिर, ओहो, काश ये करनी, अगर मैं किया नहीं था तो शायद मैं चली जाती." ऐसे करके एक के बाद सभी लोग सोचे कि अरे उस शीशे में सब कुछ दिख जाएगा तो राजा को मतलब क्या लगेगा कि मैं कैसा हूं, और सब लोगों को दिख जाएगा, सब लोग उधर होंगे, सब लोग शामिल होंगे, देखेंगे तो क्या होगा मेरा, करके सोच के सभी लोग दरवाजा तक गए, लेकिन वैसे उल्टा पलट के ऐसे ही वापस आ गए। और राजा देख रहे हैं, ऐसे इंतजार कर रहे हैं और कर रहे हैं और भी कर रहे हैं। एक दिन हो गया, बीत गया, दूसरे, और एक हफ्ता बीत गया, फिर भी कोई नहीं आया। और फिर उन्होंने पहले ही बता दिया कि 10 दिन के लिए ये कॉन्टेस्ट खुला है, और जैसे ही हम देखेंगे कि वो एक लायक आदमी जो या औरत जो आती है, हम उसी क्षण हम तय कर लेंगे कि वो ही है राजा या रानी करके। तो 10 दिन तो बीत चुके और फिर भी कोई नहीं। और फिर लास्ट में ऐसे मतलब उन्होंने सही सोचा कि बस हो गया, शायद मुझे ही करना पड़ेगा, बुढ़ापा तक मुझे ही देखभाल करना, राजनीति तो मुझे ही करना पड़ेगा करके। वो बहुत मतलब अफसोस की बात थी और परेशान हो गए थे। एंड इन द एंड, just when the curtains were supposed to close and the contest was going to end, दूर से एक औरत आ रही थी, और वो ऐसी औरत थी जो she was not wearing great clothes. Whoever had come until then were wearing very good clothes. They were having gems on their clothes. They were wearing shanai. They were having suits and boot and all that. But this lady had very simple clothes on. In fact, it looked as if her clothes were dusty. It looked as if she was coming from a very far land. Her hair was like mine, not looking very great, not colored, not perm, not curly. Lipstick भी नहीं पहनी थी, कुछ भी makeup कुछ नहीं. तो ये गार्ड्स उनको देखे, बोले कि मैडम आप कहीं गलत जगह पहुंच गए, निकल जाइए। तो वो देखे पूछे कि ऐसा कुछ रूल था क्या कि देखने में ऐसा होना चाहिए करके, ऐसा वैसा होना चाहिए करके। तो पूछने लगती है और ये गार्ड्स बोलते हैं कि अरे चली जाइए, बस बस आगे आगे जाओ आगे जाओ। तो द किंग इज वॉचिंग फ्रॉम हिज बैल्कनी एंड ही सेज व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन, ही आस्क्स। अरे हुजूर ये कोई है, बस हम भेज रहे हैं, प्लीज डोंट सेंड हर। मैंने क्या बोला आपको कि कोई भी आ सकता है करके, प्लीज उनको अंदर भेज दीजिए। और ये बहस होने में ये जो मतलब वो जो टाउन के लोग थे पूरे मतलब पूरा शामिल हो गए उधर की, एक कोई है जो अंदर तक पहुंच रही है कि ये कौन है, देखते हैं हम भी देखते हैं करके सभी लोग इकट्ठे हो गए। और जैसे वो दरवाजा खोला वो गार्ड, सभी लोग ऐसे मारपीट होके सभी लोग अंदर आ गए। एंड दिस लेडी वाज देयर, simple lady. You could make out that she was from a far away, probably a corner of the kingdom. And she came inside and she looked at the king and she bowed down respectfully and she said, Your Majesty, is this where the mirror is kept? Is this where the magic mirror is kept? और सब लोग पीछे से ये शीशे के बारे में पूछ रही है, ये कैसे करेगी, अभी देखना ही है, इसका सब गुण देख लेंगे हम, हाँ करके सब लोग देख रहे थे। फिर she said, if this is the place, I would like to see. So the king asks, are you sure you are ready to see the mirror? You know that it shows more than your face. It shows your character. Are you ready for it? He says, Gee, I'm ready for it. You see, I take care of cows and goats near my house. I am a shepherdess. And you see, I love my goats. I love my sheep. And I live with my parents. I know how to take care of my parents. And you see, sometimes I get angry. Sometimes I am very upset with my parents. I scream at my goats sometimes. But I know that I have to say sorry to them. I know that when I say sorry to them, they trust me. And then all is well because I always end up making them feel happy, and they are happy to be with me. My parents get upset with me sometimes, but I tell them why I'm doing something, and I'll never let them stay upset for a long time. And if I need to adjust, I adjust sometimes. But if I know right from wrong, I ensure that the right thing is done. So I know what I'm going to see. I know, so I don't mind seeing. If you don't mind, I'll see. The king says, be my guest. You are ready, he said. And the girl walks, the lady walks and stands in front of the mirror. And all the people are looking in astonishment as she stands in front of the mirror and ऐसे देख रहे हैं और देखते हैं कि बस चेहरा दिख रही है और एकदम शॉक होके पूछते हैं कि this is wrong, your majesty. Is this what you meant is a magic mirror? I can only see her face. What do you mean by this? You cheated all of us. I would have also seen. And then the king says, well, well, well. The magic is not in the mirror. The magic is in this woman who knows who she is, and she stands before it with great conviction, and she stands before it knowing who she is. And that is the kind of person who is ready not just for this mirror but ready to rule this kingdom. And he goes to her, puts his hand on her shoulders, and he says, you, my lady, are ready to be queen, and this land will be successful, will grow and will thrive with you looking over it. And we all will be happy to take you as our queen. And on that day, it is said that a new queen was born for the land, a new ruler came to the land. And that lady, that shepherdess who knew who she was, went on to rule the kingdom with wisdom and with great compassion. And even to this day, they say the land was ruled by a woman who knew who she was. मैं इसलिए ये कहानी आपको बोल रही हूँ क्योंकि a person who knows themselves and a person who accepts themselves and a person who can show to others who they are is a brand by themselves, and that is the core of personal branding. If you know who you are and if you do not worry about how you can position yourself and you let the world see you as who you are, you're ready to be a great personal brand. So with that, let me share my screen with you. Sir, may I share the screen?
Let me clap for you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay, I'll just share my screen, sir. And let me just, I have a couple of questions. Of course, you are not in a position to, answer it to me here. But maybe sir can answer. Maybe sir can be my very esteemed participant. And sir will probably, if he is willing to, he can represent many of you, because I know that some of the answers will be very similar. Okay. So my question to you and all you people across the world is, the lady who is in front of you, she is not a lady who is unknown. But tell me, what is the first word that comes to your mind when you see the lady in front of you?
Very pious soul.
Hey.
Very wonderful soul.
Okay, wonderful.
Messenger of the God. Okay. Always loved every child and every human being on this planet. And she dedicated her entire life for the humanity.
So I'm sure sir has given, I asked for one word and sir has given 5 words. But this is the thing. This is the specialty of the 5 words that sir has said. You see, the words that have been said are the words that not just sir will say, but every person who looks at Mother Teresa have the same set of words: compassion, humanity, pious, a messenger of God, and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to ask you one more example. Of course, let me just take the screen to another great human being who I believe. Now, what is the first word that comes to your mind, sir, when you look at him?
सपने वो हैं जो आपको सोने नहीं देते, सपने वो नहीं होते जो रात को सोते हुए आते हैं. And anything is possible in this world, in this universe. All the power is within you. Just ignite your mind and achieve your objective.
Wonderful. In fact, quoted by Abdul Kalam ji. So he has actually ignited your minds is one of his most famous words. And that is what he has left in all our minds. Anything is possible. He's a man who has disrupted all expectations. He has risen from nowhere to rule the nation. So now how is it that we all think of the same words? We talk, some of us will say scientific advisors, some of us will say nuclear man, some of us will say president, some of us will say made the impossible possible, igniting minds. How is it, and you tell me the answer to this question, the world who's watching, is it that these two individuals, Mother Teresa and Abdul Kalam ji, you think they do not have any other aspects of their lives? Do you think that they did not have any struggles? Do you think they did not have any conflict? Do you think they did not have any sadness? Do you think they did not have any doubts in their minds as they lived their lives? Well, I'm sure they did. And if you think about it, you're also sure that they also led lives like us. They may have had conflicts, internal, external conflicts. They could have had struggles. They could have, they may have had arguments. You cannot reach where you've reached unless you have the right arguments with the right set of people, unless you know how to convince. And therefore, there are so many facets of their lives. But we never say those words. Why? You see, these are the greatest human beings who have carefully built a brand that makes us, all of them, the 7 billion people who inhabit Earth today, will say the same words about these people. Why? Because it's the power of their brand. Not because their life is not made of anything else, it is. But yet, जो हम सोचते हैं उनके बारे में, वो हमेशा यही होता है जो सभी लोग हमारे आसपास में जो बैठे हुए हैं वो वही सोचेंगे उनके बारे में. वो वही इसलिए सोचते हैं क्योंकि उनका जो ब्रांड है वो इतना इतना स्ट्रांग है, इतना डीप है, इतना गहरा है उनका ब्रांड कि हम और कुछ सोच ही नहीं सकेंगे. And how have they done this? They have done this painstakingly, carefully. And what are the things that we need to take care of when we build our own brand? That is the question, and I am here to answer that question to the best of my ability. And let me take you through some of the aspects which make a great brand. Right. So I hope you all are clear about how brands are created. Right. So Jeff Bezos, who is the Amazon head, he talked about he has a quotation. So ये quotation तो बहुत प्यारा है. What is personal brand? Personal brand is what people think about you. क्या लोग क्या सोचते हैं आपके बारे में, क्या सोचते हैं, ठीक है, और आपके बारे में क्या मतलब क्या स्वभाव ये होता है जब आपके बारे में मतलब हैप्पी फील करते हैं कि मतलब मिसट्रस्ट फील करते हैं या ऐसे मतलब दुख होता है आपके बारे में सोचने में, क्या महसूस क्या करते, फीलिंग क्या है वो. और तीसरी बात है क्या मतलब क्या बोलते हैं आपके बारे में. तो क्या सोचते हैं, क्या फील करते हैं और क्या बोलते हैं जब आप रूम में नहीं हो, जब आप उनके सामने नहीं हो. यही है बात. आपके सामने जो कुछ बोले वो तो शायद वो बोलना पड़े उनको, but when they speak about you when you're not in the room, what they think about you when you're not in front of them, and what they feel about you no matter where you are, that is your core personal brand. Now for you to do this activity, you have to spend some time asking those people. I often do this. I work with a lot of professionals. I work with children, I work with teachers, I work with parents. लेकिन मैं अक्सर उनसे पूछती हूँ कि मतलब ये सेशन तो आपने देख लिया, लेकिन आप ना मेरे बारे में क्या सोचा. तो लोग बहुत अक्सर ऐसे बोलते हैं कि मैम आप तो ये सेशन तो 1 आवर का था, लेकिन जब मैं आपके बारे में सोचती हूँ मुझे ये लगता है कि आप शायद बहुत पढ़ते हो, क्योंकि ये 1 घंटा में इतना बोलना ना, आप शायद बहुत पढ़ते हो, शायद आप बहुत सोचते हो, क्योंकि ना वो गहरे बात बहुत बोलते हो आप. तो I keep asking, and even when I ask young children this, so when I tell in stories, so some of the words that they say, auntie, you're very creative, you made me see so many things, I have never seen a lion I've only seen it in a zoo, but when you took me to your jungle, I could see the lion. I could see how ferocious it was. I could see how sharp its nails were. And you know, even that lion was brave, but even braver than the lion was that man who outwitted the lion. You made me realize the importance of thinking. I'm also going to be a thinker. So, they tell me things about how I'm able to connect with them. So I know what my personal brand is. I know that I'm a person who can connect with another human being no matter what age they are. I instantly connected with Gulshan sir because he's 72 years. Huh? By the way, he's quite old compared to me. I'm also old, but he's quite old compared to me. But I instantly connected with him, and he also knew how to connect with me because he said something about Bangalore, and Bangalore is my heart's favorite is Bangalore. So he said something about Bangalore. तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. And जैसे ही बोले उन्होंने, so then I spoke to him. He said he's a man from the armed forces, and I told him how instantly, I said, we are connected because we come from the same fraternity. And so I know how to connect with people. I am creative as a person. I am intelligent. I know I'm intelligent. I'm not being pompous. मैं घमंडी नहीं हूँ. मुझे पता है कि बुद्धि है मेरा और इस्तेमाल करती हूँ. सभी लोग का है, अक्सर हम भूल जाते हैं उसको इस्तेमाल करना. बहुत पढ़ती हूँ. I burn the midnight oil. Why? Because for me to speak for 5 minutes, I need 50 hours of reading. So this is what I mean. I know who I am. And even if I leave the room, I know that people probably are saying not the same words that I'm saying, but things that accumulate to the same thing, same image of me. Right? So that is my brand identity. That's my personal brand identity. The question for you is, what is your brand identity? If you know your brand identity and you work on it, then you are in the sweetest spot today's industry is looking for. They are looking for people who know their brand. They are looking for specific brands. They are not looking for one skill set. They are looking for people. They are looking for people who can make a difference. Right? So now, are you that person? Okay, so let me move on. Now, there are many ways to be known. Okay, say, for example, you feel that you are the best communicator. Now, how will you tell everybody that you are a best communicator? You can write a tattoo laga ke I am the best communicator karke tattoo, best communicator. Yeah, you can say, oh, you can beat your chest and you can say best, 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 best. ऐसे कर सकते हो. And you can probably go around जहां भी कोई मिल जाए उनको पकड़ के ऐसे खींच के समझा मैं ही बेस्ट हूं, ऐसे भी बोल सकते हो. ये सब तरीके जो मैंने बोला ना, वो करते हैं लोग, इसीलिए मैंने बोला. लेकिन वो जो इसका जो सक्सेस रेट है ना, काफी कम है. वो ये टैटू देखने से कोई ऐसे बिलीव नहीं करेगा कि आप बेस्ट हो, या आप चेस्ट बीटिंग करोगे तो बिलीव नहीं करेंगे. लेकिन तब करेंगे जब आप अपने ब्रांड को बिल्ड करते हो, brick by brick, brick by brick. It's not easy. It's not overnight. Every brick that you place on your branding cathedral, on your branding, as you know, if you look at yourself as a temple, every brick that you place in your personal temple is going to matter in how the world looks at you, not just while you're here, but even when you're not. Abdul Kalam and Mother Teresa are not here, but we look upon them the same way. They are temples in their own rights. What is the kind of temple that we are building for ourselves is the question. Okay. So what is personal brand? You see, personal brand ऐसा कोई sculpture कुछ नहीं है. It is just a combination of a few concepts. It is when you bring together certain concepts, you are creating a brand. Now, what are these concepts that you're bringing together, right? So I don't know how many of you know the difference between these words, right? So let me ask sir, आपका passion क्या है life में? काम तो है, passion बताइए. Sir, unmute करो please.
Working as hard as hard as possible and learning from everybody, even from a small kid. And only one request to Almighty that till last day, till last breath, I should learn, learn, and learn.
Wonderful, wonderful. The passion to learn, right? The passion to always stay ignited. So I think sirs बहुत parallels हैं आपके और अब्दुल कलाम जी के. वो तो last day तक वो खड़े होके वो he was giving a, you know,
और
giving
मैडम
a,
आपका भी स्पेशली बताना पड़ेगा सर ऑडियंस को विद योर परमिशन as
sir.
a as a elder brother. I'm just taking the liberty to tell, ladies and gentlemen, Abdul Kalam ji wanted to become an Air Force officer, but unfortunately he could not get over there. But finally ignition was there, fire was there in the valley, and he became supreme commander of India. That means army, navy, air force all were under him. And the first day when he sat in air force aircraft and he went with the pilot, that was the turning point because we very closely knew him. And I must share with you that man's husband is also a group captain, fighter pilot from Air Force. So great blessings to you as an elder brother. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. So like I was saying, so sir's passion is to learn, be an evergreen learner, no matter who the or what the source of the learning is. It can be from a child, it can be from another expert, it can be from a third unknown person. As long as there is learning, he's excited, he's passionate about learning. So that's probably why, you see, passion is what drives us. That's probably why at the age of 72, when a lot of people are leading a very retired life, here he is sitting through my session, introducing me and being an inspiration to not just me, but to all of you. So, so this is what passion does. Now, passion is a very important pillar of our brand image. What are the passions that we actually have? Now, the passion it can be anything as long as you truly are driven by it. So what are your passions, and are you going after your passions with uh, with your all? So passion can be music, passion can be your dance, passion can be your writing, your creative abilities. It can be willingness to your interest to learn, interest to do public work, social work, interest to help others, so on and so forth, right? So each one has their own passion. Now, passion is part of your brand statement. The other part of your brand statement is whatever your passions are, there are some skills that you have to bring to this world. You see, because these skills that you have is what the world will, benefit from. At the end of the day, we are in a society. And it is not enough that I keep doing only what I am passionate about. वो तो एक बात है, लेकिन हमें इस संसार में हम दे क्या रहे हैं? What are we offering to this world? How are we contributing to it? So we use our skills to contribute to this world. What are the skills that we have? The skills that we have is again not fixed. It keeps on building through our lives. We keep improving our skills, we keep bettering, and the more we are willing to be learners, the more skills we keep on developing, right? Now the third aspect is something which is very close to our heart. Some of the values we are born with certain core values. Some values are because of our environment at home, in our community. हमारे वातावरण से जो मिलती है वो मूल्य बात, they are some core values. And some core values are what we adopt, saying, I am aspiring to have this as a value. So values are things that make us more human. Okay, values make us human beings. Values is what differentiates us from other animal kingdom creatures. We are, man is an animal of the highest order. The reason why is because we carry with us what other animals often do not, and that is values, right? And the last is most important is, what is my core purpose of life? मैं मतलब क्या करना क्या चाहती हूँ मैं इस दुनिया में मेरे स्किल्स हैं, मेरे वैल्यूज हैं, मेरे पैशंस है, लेकिन मुझे करना क्या है लाइफ में? इफ यू कैन आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन, ऑफ कोर्स द पीपल हु हैव आंसर्ड दिस क्वेश्चन, द पीपल हु न्यू द आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन एट सम पॉइंट, ऐसा नहीं कि आज ही आपको ये सब सवालों का जवाब आज ही चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं। जैसे सर ने बोला, एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम found his purpose, which moved. He wanted to be in the Air Force, but it moved on much later. He got one day As the commander-in-chief, he got to fly a plane with a fighter pilot, a dream that he had a long time back. And in doing that, his first purpose that he lived his life with was fulfilled. But he went on to live a greater purpose, right? So the point is, if you have a purpose, even the purposes as we grow change. But are we clear of our purpose today? You can be 15 years old and still have a purpose. My daughter is 17. She knows what she wants. She knows her strengths. She says she wants to be a lawyer. When I was 17, I did not know whether I'm going to have my dinner at 7 p.m. or 10 p.m. and I keep wondering. ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? इतना मतलब my life was so, flaky. It was so unsure. I didn't even know what I wanted to have for food, what I was as a person. But today, the generation today is very different. And most people I'm talking to today are people who are truly, generation Y, and generation Y knows what you want. But be clear that what you want has the right set of values, the right set of skills, and your passion all put together. These four are what make a personal brand. Now, just to give you an example, some of you might get stuck. If you don't have not done this exercise, please do this exercise. These are some values. Okay, these are some example values. Look at it, and if I ask you, what are the 3 values that fit you? The top 3 values. Look at this list. Okay, look at this list and think about the 3 values that define your core values. You can choose any 3. I'm forcing you to just take 3 because अगर मैं बोलूं कि बस कर लो आप तो आप पूरा टिक करोगे. ऐसे मेरे पास सभी कुछ है, ऐसे नहीं. I want you to pick up the top 3 values that you possess today. Right? Can you do that? I want each one of you to see these and look at it. And the question is this: if you're picking up 3, will the world also pick up the same 3 when they think about you? For example, if I were to pick up यहाँ पे, मेरा एक core value है commitment. जब मैं बोलती हूँ कि मैं करूंगी, चाहे मुझे मरना पड़े उसमें, मैं तो कर ही लूंगी. Because I have committed. If I commit to a child, I will fulfill that commitment. If I committed to an organization, I will fulfill it. If I commit to myself, I will still come. If I commit, the point is, many times I say I will get back to you, or I put things on hold. But if I say I will do it, rest assured, commitment is my core value. Excellence is my core value. जो भी मैं करती हूँ, मैं एकदम मतलब I put my all in it. I don't know if I'm excellent, but I strive for excellence. How I turn out, वो तो भगवत गीता में ऐसे बोलते हैं कि बस कर्म करो, उसके कॉन्सिक्वेंस बाद में देखा जाएगा. I only do my best in the work that I commit to. Striving for excellence. What happens is out of our control, and no matter the consequences, right? So excellence is my second one. Now the third one, which I feel is my own core excellence, my core value, is my sense of, I have to choose the third one. Of course, I'm also tempted to choose maybe trust, right? Because when trust and humor, वैसे चार मुझे बहुत ये है. I'm wondering humor की trust, but I think it is trust, because one thing, because of my levels of commitment, I feel that I have earned my trust, and I always give, I always trust others. I never doubt others. If you tell me something, I believe you because I'm a trusting person and I live on trust. I work with trust. I do a lot of work in charity because I trust that those people deserve this. So these are my values. But the important thing is this: अगर मैं किसी और को पूछूं कि ये अपर्णा आत्रेया जो है वो कैसी है, मतलब what are her values, मैं आप बताओ, they will probably say a few of this themselves. They may also say to you, he's committed, people who know me. And I strive that people on this planet know me for the same values that I want to know for myself, right? So that is what I mean when there is transparency, What you think about yourself is what others should also talk about you, right? So that is about core values. Let me move on to the next, the core skills. So skills today, because I'm talking to probably people who are looking for, professional endeavors. I would like you to understand that professional skills are divided into four key areas. One is leadership skills. Everybody today is looking for leadership, not leadership skills for leading others, but leading self also. Leadership, personal leadership skills, right? That's very important. Teamwork. Today we are living in a world of collaboration, और इस पैंडेमिक की वजह से मतलब सब कुछ कोलैबोरेशन, टीम वर्क तो ग्लोबल टीम वर्क हो गया है. सभी लोग ऑनलाइन पे काम कर रहे हैं, और टीम वर्क इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, नॉट जस्ट विद इन योर ऑफिस बट अक्रॉस जियोग्राफीज, right? Problem solving. So what is problem solving? Is our ability to understand the new problems as we progress from a world 50 years back to a world today which is completely technology driven. There have been so many problems that we are solving today. Gulshan sir told us about how they have identified water to be the next big problem, and how we are all working towards making this nation a place where which does not suffer because of water shortages. So we have identified a problem, we are working towards a solution. So it is important for us to not just live life, but to understand that we will always have new problems to identify, to accept, and to mitigate. So first thing is to be able to identify problems. So how do we do this? There are skills that we need. Today the world is looking for problem solvers, not for product designers who don't know how to solve problems. What product will you design if you don't understand problems, right? Okay, and the last is, well, it's important, but in case you don't have communication skills, that's, you can always pick it up, right? Communication skills is very important, because we are again in a very flat world, and it is important that people understand who we are and what is it that we bring to the table. I don't mean communication, spoken communication alone. Communicate through your body language, communicate through your writing, communicate through your spoken word, communicate with your actions, communicate with your own actions, whatever the actions you would like to do. Okay, so communication is a very important skill as well. So now, how are you placed? What are your, if you were to choose one skill from each of these buckets, what would they be? What would they be? I would like you to spend a moment on each category: leadership, teamwork, problem solving, communication. And if you're not able to find skills any specific bucket, it is important for you to pay attention, saying this is a deficit for me. I need to fulfill this deficit. I need to aspire to pick up skills in a specific topic. These skills are very important because the world will recognizes you for your skills. The world looks through your resume at the skills that you have. So जब भी आप resume prepare कर रहे हो, उसमें देखो कि उस आपके strengths में जो है, they mean core strengths is core skills. उसमें इनमें से क्या intersection है, मतलब क्या क्या common है इस लिस्ट में और आपके रेज्यूमे में. अगर आपके रेज्यूमे में यहाँ पे जो है वो कुछ भी नहीं है, तो आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि या तो रेज्यूमे कंप्लीट नहीं है, नहीं तो आपका स्किल्स कंप्लीट नहीं है. सो ये अधूरी जो है अगर है, तो आपको उसके ऊपर काम करना पड़ेगा. ओके, सो the life's purpose, which I talked about, which was, passion is something that I'm leaving all of you. I know all of you have passions. तो passion के बारे में बात ही नहीं करना है मुझे. आपको है, मतलब you have to just follow your passions. But the fourth thing is, what is your life's purpose? I can make the world better. How are you going to make it better? With my ability to, what are you going to do? So I will tell you, for me, okay, for me, my life, I can make this world a happier place with my ability to connect with people over stories. I feel that I can bring this world a lot of happiness, lot of joy of listening and reflecting over stories, because of my ability to connect with people over stories. I am a storyteller, and I'm a very proud storyteller. I feel that my life's purpose, and it is not the purpose that I had 20 years back. 20 years back, my life's purpose was something else. I wanted to be an engineer. I was an engineer for a long time. I was in the software business. I was doing banking and capital markets. बहुत कुछ किया मैंने. But as I grew, my purpose also grew. My priorities changed. My skills grew. My passions changed. So, there was a cumulative increase in various aspects of me. And one day I felt that my life's purpose is to work with children. My priority was not about earning anymore. My priority was not about my bank balance anymore. My priority was about how can I make a difference in the life of a child or in the life of people that I am coaching. So somewhere my life's purpose integrated with the skills and my passion that I had. I was passionate about storytelling. My skills included communication and telling stories. My skills included commitment. My values included commitment, excellence. So I kept going after my skill. And I told stories to children from Anganwadi, children from people who were below poverty line, who were part of migrant communities. I told uh, stories of change to sex workers who were rehabilitating. So there are so many people, and I never stopped telling. And every time I told a story, every time I connected with them, every time I trained and coached them, I saw a twinkle in their eyes. I saw understanding in their minds. I saw a change that was growing, the seed of change that had been sown in their hearts. And that is where I felt I was fulfilling my life's purpose. What is your life's purpose? That is a key question that you need to ask. Once you determine your life's purpose, once you know your strengths, your core skills, once you know your passions, and you accept and understand what are your core values, these are the four things that make you a personal brand. But once you know this, how do you let the world know this, right? So what is the ABCD of personal branding? The first thing is awareness, which is what I talked to you about. Awareness. Awareness of what are your strengths, what are your skills, what are your values, your passion, your purpose. जानकारी होना ही सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट महत्वपूर्ण स्टेप वही है, अवेयरनेस. लेकिन अवेयरनेस, ये जानकारी होने के बाद हम क्या करना है, हमें उसको बिल्ड करना है. कैसे बिल्ड करें? First is we look at all the assets we have. What are the assets? One is, we have got our own, we need to be who we are. If we are saying that this is my passion, are we going after our passion? If we are saying these are my skills, are we honing our skills? So keep building it, keep building on everything that we are saying, keep making it stronger and stronger. So if there are some skills that we need to meet our life's purpose, then we need to build those skills. So our building is really, it's an ongoing process anytime in our lives. But in the beginning of our careers, it is very, very important for us to ensure that we build our brand, because our brand perfect होता नहीं है. जैसे ही हम शुरू करते हैं कि ये है मेरा पर्सनल ब्रांड, उसके लिए तो हमें काफी बिल्डिंग करना पड़ेगा. काफी कुछ, मतलब ये ईंट रखना पड़ेगा कि ये है, अभी ये नहीं है, ये सीखना है, ये नेटवर्किंग से मिल जाती है, ये सब आपको बिल्ड करना पड़ेगा. सो हाउ डू यू बिल्ड इट? यू कैन बिल्ड इट बाय वन sustained effort in training yourself. You can build it by being in the company of the right network of people from your own fields, right? So networking is a very important thing. Third one is by constantly doing experiential work. How can you do experiential work in your own field? So I'll give you an example. Okay, I knew that I was very passionate about storytelling, but how I built it is I used to go after all of these, जहां भी मुझे voluntary काम मिलता था मैं कर लेती थी. एक भी बार मैंने तब पूछा नहीं कि इसमें पैसे कितने हैं. But later on I started to earn lots of money. Money comes, but first you have to build your brand, right? So I used to do things just because I got an opportunity to do it, no matter whether I was paid or not. Okay, that's the second. The third is, how do you communicate your brand? So today, brand communication happens in various ways. One is by word of mouth. One is through our resume. Okay, and one is through social media. So word of mouth is how I introduce myself and how the work that I'm doing, right? The work that I'm doing itself is part of my communication. Okay. The second is how good is your resume, which is specifically meant for your jobs. The third is how are you presenting yourself on social media. If मैंने अक्सर ये फेसबुक और इंस्टाग्राम में बस ये देखती हूँ कि अपना प्रोफाइल फोटो को बार बार चेंज करके वही पोस्ट करते रहते हैं, पोस्ट करते, अरे ये प्रोफाइल फोटो से क्या होता है? प्रोफाइल फोटो बस अलग अलग पोजेस देखते हैं लोग, तो उसमें कुछ ब्रांडिंग हो नहीं रहा है. आपके जो पोस्ट हैं वो देखिए, आपकी वो आपके जो स्किल्स हैं उसके ऊपर हैं, या आपके जो पैशन है वो दिख रहा है आपके पोस्ट में करके आप देखिए. जस्ट सी व्हाट इज द कनेक्शन बिटवीन व्हाट इज योर लाइफ पर्पस, योर स्किल्स, योर पैशन, and you know what is how does it map with what you're doing in social media. Where is the connect for that? You need to, what are your, whether your passion is coming through, whether your skills are coming through. So वो direct connection होना चाहिए आपके post और आपके जो brand है, and on an ongoing basis. So some of the examples that you see, in fact you should see the MESC के जो post होते हैं वो इतना मतलब in your face है कि मतलब यही है, हम यही करते रहे, हमें यही करते थे, हम यही करेंगे, यही करते रहेंगे करके ना, वो तो it is very clear what is their purpose. So so this is what I mean when you have to communicate it through social media in the right way. Okay, and also your resume needs to keep getting updated as you build new skills and as you respond to new job opportunities. Keep building it. And the fourth one is never stop developing your brand. I was a brand in the software industry. I was, I did not leave the software industry because I had no choice. I was doing very well. I was on a fast track on promotions. I did well. I was well known in my organization. I used to be part of the core technology group, which answered a lot of technological challenges that they were. I was a part of a very elite group. But I developed and changed my brand and went after a new avatar because that was what my passion became at one day. But did that change my attitude towards who I am? No. I went after a new brand, whole and soul, full blast. I went after another one on a high. I was on high adrenaline anytime. तो जब आप कुछ सोचते हो आपके बारे में, न्यू पैशंस आप डिस्कवर करते हो, तो उसके पीछे पड़ना जरूरी है. जरूरी इसलिए है क्योंकि जब आप पीछे पड़ते हो लोग भी देखते हैं और लोग को पता चल जाता है कि ये जो है वो मतलब जो सोचते हैं करते हैं, और ऐसा ही आपका ब्रांड बढ़ जाएगा. So that's really, I've come to the last of mine. This is one last thing I'd like you to remember. If you want to be an ace personal brand, what you have to remember is 3 things. Be the ace. कैसे ace होंगे? First is authenticity. Authenticity is please do not try and be something that you're not. अगर आपके लाइफ पर्पस में कुछ है नहीं तो ऐसे दिखावट के लिए नहीं है. ये जो भी आप कर रहे हो वो अगर आपको जेन्युइन लग रहा है, आपके जो पर्पस है वो सच है, वो ट्रू है टू हु यू आर, show that. Show yourself authentically in this world. Don't try to be something you're not. कभी कभी I see people, you know, आएंगे बिजनेस मीटिंग पे, 2-4 फोन रखेंगे आगे और फिर एकदम से मतलब पूरा चश्मे तो ओकलीज होंगे, जूते तो क्लार्क्स होंगे, सूट बूट पहनेंगे, लेकिन जब हम बात करते हैं तो जो बातें कर रहे हैं वो तो कुछ अलग ही है. वो तो ग्रास रूट लेवल के में काम करने के लिए बात कर रहे हैं. अगर ग्रास रूट लेवल में काम कर रहे हैं तो ऐसे ड्रेस करने से किसको पता चल जाएगा कि आप उनमें से एक है करके. ऑथेंटिसिटी इज इंपॉर्टेंट इन द वे यू ड्रेस, इन योर लाइफ पर्पस, इन योर कम्युनिकेशन विद अदर्स. सेकंड इज कंसिस्टेंसी. दैट मीन्स अगर आप सोशल मीडिया में कुछ बात कर रहे हैं या आपके रिज्यूमे में कुछ बोल रहे हैं, वो सब कंसिस्टेंट होना है. जहां भी मैं देखूं वो एक ही दिखना है मुझे. इसीलिए हम मदर टेरेसा के बारे में जब जब सोचते हैं तो वही क्यों सोचते हैं हम कि कंपैशन के बारे में, बच्चों के बारे में, वो मैसेंजर की गॉड के बारे में, चैरिटी के बारे, ये सब क्यों है हमारे इसमें? क्योंकि उनके जो कम्युनिकेशन है वो कंसिस्टेंट था। उनके पूरे जिंदगी में जो भी बात, जो भी काम किया है वो कंसिस्टेंट वही किया है, वही दिखाया, वही जो मतलब लोगों को वही देखना मिला। इसीलिए उनका कंसिस्टेंसी लीड्स अस टू बिलीव एंड सी देम इन अ सर्टेन वे। एंड द लास्ट इज, please remember that your brand is a key, um, your brand is extremely important for you to be a response to empathy. Empathy means ये इस दुनिया में लोग हैं और आप लोगों के साथ मतलब हमारा पूरा जिंदगी हम तो आपस में लाइफ्स तो बांट रहे हैं हम ना, हम तो जिंदगी किसी और के साथ, हमारे कम्युनिटी के साथ, फैमिली के साथ, फ्रेंड्स के साथ, कोलीग्स के साथ हम बिता रहे हैं। तो उनके बारे में हम उनके साथ हमारा सोच जब सोसाइटी समाज के साथ होता है तब सबसे स्ट्रॉन्ग ब्रांड इसलिए होता है क्योंकि समाज के जो लोग हैं अगर वो इंक्लूडेड है, उनके सोच है हमारे ब्रांडिंग में, तो उनको भी दिख जाएगा क्योंकि वही लोग हमारे ब्रांड सस्टेन करेंगे, वही लोग हमारे बारे में बात करेंगे, या हम चाहे हम रूम में हो ना हो, right? So what is important is that whatever brand we create, let it include and be a response to the society, to the community, to the world. What do they need from me? How can my brand help this world? Right? So it has to be empathetic, which means it thinks of the community, of the world. So this is what I would like to uh, end my talk with. And the last, the one proverb which I would like to leave you with is there is an African proverb which is very true for even branding. The African proverb is, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go holding hands. So even in your endeavor to build your brand, you can build a brand alone. एकदम सीधा जल्दी जल्दी बिल्ड कर सकते हो, लेकिन वो लॉन्ग लास्टिंग होता नहीं है। अगर दूर जाना है आपको तो औरों के साथ जाइए, आप समाज के साथ जाइए, आप बाकी लोगों को आगे बढ़ाइए, आप उनके साथ उनके मिलजुल के अगर आप सोच के आप उनको भी लेके जाएंगे तो तभी आपका ब्रांड सबसे, इसीलिए इफ यू सी द ग्रेटेस्ट पर्सनल ब्रांड्स, दे आर पीपल ऑफ द सोसाइटी, people who worked for the society, right? So remember to keep society as part of your thinking. I wish you all the very best, and I hope good things come your way always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gulshan, thank you so much for your opportunity.
Such a wonderful session, such a stimulating, such a rewarding, such an engaging, and such a personal. God bless you. God bless you. I send you my blessings as an elder brother, and I wish and I pray to Almighty that you keep doing good job, good service to the nation, to the country, to the humanity, to the society, to the civilization, to this entire galaxy. Whatsoever best you can do for the entire universe, I think that's the way. Now, ladies and gentlemen, like Madam, before we conclude today's session, now this is one of the rarest session, where you saw total engagement, single person, for such a long duration. And this is only possible when you have done a lot of homework, you're passionate, you're dedicated, you're committed, and you get totally melted and dissolved in the work what you do. That is something amazing. You have got a lot of blessings from overseas. Then there's a lady who has joined from Imphal. It is Julie Suba, and she sends regard to you. There's Colonel Casey Manon from Bangalore, who basically takes care of, because we bring 5 girls every day in the evening in a program with us, and they talk on women empowerment. So when we talk about that, so Colonel Casey Manon is our advisor based out of Bangalore. So he takes care of entire thing. Ma'am, kindly put your number over there in the group so that I just put it, it's between you, it's in the chat box here only. So now we would like to take this journey forward, and ma'am mentioned in between what is the purpose. Why are you doing a particular thing? How much is your commitment? How passionate you are? There were a couple of things what she has mentioned over there. When we take that particular journey forward, it is very, very important that whatever you are doing in life and wherever you are, it doesn't make a difference. Let me tell you. And I'm going to say, sometime you got to understand, I do not take single rupee from this chamber, not a single rupee. Never ever from 1994 till date. I'm dedicated, I'm passionate because God had been so kind to me. I come from a very, very humble background. I used to study in a government school in a far village. I still recollect. And I borrowed somebody's books, one of my close friends' books, and I got commission he could not get. I borrowed his books, and finally he got into the police. And thereafter, if you remember, one of the most gruesome case of Nirbhaya case, when you talk about, he was the assistant commissioner police who didn't sleep for 90 hours, and he solved and he collected all the culprits together. He's my batchmate, my course mate, my soulmate, and I studied his books and I got commissioned into the army. And having gone into the army, still I was feeling all the time something more you have to do, something more you have to do. It's not going to help you the way you are and where you are. And a lot of turning points after becoming a major in the army, and then a little bit of mishap somewhere and medical category down, and thereafter changing the tracks, did my masters, did my PhD, first Indian army officer to move on deputation in India to the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, set up the first institute for tourism for the Ministry of Tourism, drafted the whole curriculum and the contents and the complete framework of the MBA tourism in India. And one fine day, I was called by the Adjutant General of the Indian Army. He said, "You are a serving major?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Do you want to serve?" "Yes, sir." "Then why are you not doing anything for the army?" I said, "Sir, tell me, what can I do?" He said, "What have you done from the time you have gone on deputation?" I said, "Sir, the first thing I have done is I started resettlement, reoccupation courses for the defense officers and defense jawans, Army, Navy, Air Force, with the DGR related to tourism, hospitality, and aviation." That was with the Director General Resettlement. He says, "No, no, you have to do more." I said, "Sir, I have got a dream project. I need 4 rooms in Bangalore. I need only 4 rooms in Bangalore. If you can give it to me, I can make a palace out of it. Just give me 4 rooms." He said, "Okay." He gave a call as an adjutant general right from his office in Bangalore to the ASC center of the army. And I was given 4 rooms for the Ministry of Tourism in army area. And I set up hospitality tourism institute in Bangalore for Indian Army. And now I have learned that they have set up their full-fledged complete institution where there are more than 2,000 students. It's a
Yeah.
humble journey. It's a humble efforts. But as Madam mentioned, total commitment, total commitment. You got to be mad. जो कुछ भी कर रहे हैं उसका जुनून होना चाहिए, आपको पागलपन होना चाहिए. Day and night. When I have been teaching, I would say that when I look back, how was it possible that I could travel world over all the continents? It wouldn't have been possible had I stayed back in army. But destiny had something else for me in my life. And I traveled the whole world through the lens of the tourism. And when I saw from the tourism, it made me more humble. And every day I started thinking, मेरा कोई अस्तित्व नहीं है. मैं बहुत छोटा हूँ इस संसार में. मुझे तो औरों से सीखना है. And now, rest of the life from this chamber, my only one vision, because I meet a lot of people. There's one gentleman from Bangalore. He's in Houston. He's in Texas. He's the person who received and he planned and dedicated everything when the Honorable Prime Minister of India visited Howdy Modi and the complete program was done over there. He says, "Dr. Sharma, although I'm here in the university, I'm a professor, but I want to do something for India. I want to do something for India. And every Sunday, 8 p.m., he's with me on the webinar live from Texas every Sunday, because together we are planning to do something, and we have got only three words: making education relevant. And how education will become relevant? All the core skills which Madam has given you. Find your passion, dedicate yourself towards that passion, devote your energy in that direction. She has given in such a beautiful way. When she started with that king story, it was so melting, dissolving in one podlock, in one confluence. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a wonderful treat to the soul, to the spirit, to the cerebrum, to the mind, and everybody enjoyed world over. We send our blessings to this little sister of ours. She's a wonderful lady, and we pray to Almighty that she should have a wonderful days, and she should keep serving the humanity the best possible way. Many more stories to come with the positivity. And our children, learn as much as you can. Pick up the best of threads, whatsoever you can. We would like to do many more programs with you, ma'am. We would like to bring you sometime later once again in the program. And we would request you help children to grow wherever they are, because they deserve. हमारा तो एक ही ड्रीम प्रोजेक्ट है. Last 26 years, I have adopted only the children. Those are far-flung areas, complete Northeast, all ST, SC, OBC deprived, socially deprived children, and getting them free education and skills.
Wonderful.
36,000 students have gone from the chamber. So it's a very humble, very humble journey since 1994, all of us. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, we convey once again our deep regards and thanks to Mohit Soni, Pooja Arora, the entire team of Media Entertainment Skill Council, and very especially to my little doll sister, Madam Aparna Athreya, and great regards to her husband and great blessings to her grown-up daughter. She should become a lawyer. Whatsoever she wants to do, she should do the best possible way. May God